Alright, this is a walkthrough of Activity 11-4, Exploring System Monitor Settings. System Monitor is the tool I alluded to earlier to get real historical data about how the system is going, and you can set specific counters. You can also use the same tool to set triggers for events in case something happens, set a threshold, which we'll explore later. So specifically, we want to go ahead and load performance, and there are two ways to do it. Performance Monitor, or perfmon, or you can say Start, Administrative Tools, Performance. It brings you to the same thing. These are the same thing. And if you notice, it's starting to do some recording. And first thing we want to do is we want to look at the different views. This is the graph view. We then have the histogram view. And you notice here we have three counters: page files, disk quotas, which, because we're not running an active server with a bunch of users accessing it, we're not going to see that as much, and process time. So this is similar to what we saw Task Manager, our actual processor load, the CPU usage, which in our process view was called system. You notice that says 4, and we're recording about 4 here, and it'll go up and down based upon current system processor load. So we want to then view the report view, and this just gives us a snapshot. It's just a numerical in decimal format of what you can see currently going on with Task Manager, or what you can see in the histogram. Nice thing about this is you can set many other counters besides just basic processor load and the page file. Like I said, Task Manager Performance tab just gives you real time right then and there, so you can see what's going on. This gives you the ability to track it over time. Now the view here is going to be rewritten, but that's okay. We can then actually set it to record over a period of time, and we can set certain parameters and thresholds for that. So we want to look at here. We want to have this highlighted, processor time. It's active. And we can make changes to it. So by saying properties, brings out the properties of what's currently being displayed. We can then, the book wants us to make a change to it and change the width to be as thick as possible. So we say apply, and now you'll notice that we made a change to our counter view, and it has made it to the proper thickness. You can then also tell it stop, and it stopped recording. We want to tell it update the data, and it's just going to take one minute step based upon the current view of this counter. And we say update the data again, it'll just keep doing it, it'll just keep stepping it. It's a stepwise fashion, but it's not going to continuously count, whereas if we unfreeze it, it automatically goes back to its predefined parameters. What you see here, you can then change the appearance, and that pretty much concludes our walkthrough. Last thing we want to do is we want to clear it out, and this just refreshes it and starts us over from the beginning, and so we record from this time on forward. So you notice the duration. That's the actual time that this represents, 1 minute and 40 seconds. This concludes our very brief walkthrough of Activity 11-4, exploring the performance monitor.